You follow Edith, passing door number 201, when suddenly a sharp, crackling sound breaks through the air, uncomfortably close to you. Actually, is it coming from you? It's the baby monitor, the one without any batteries in it. Because why wouldn't it be? The battery slot is empty, and you're not sure these things work both ways, but who knows? The thing continues to emit static, but under it all you think you can hear a voice. It's faint and hard to understand. Hello? Mary? No, not quite. The static keeps hissing and sputtering as you follow Edith down the hall. She stops at a door, 205, and knocks. There's no answer. A moment passes, and Edith steps back for you to try the door. The door clicks open under your hand. You walk into the room, and as you do, the walls and floors seem to melt away. You smell the lake and feel the cold fog on your skin. There, leaning on the rail, gazing at the lake, is your uncle. And Marissa. You try to open your mouth to call out to James, but your mouth remains shut, and your body seems frozen. All you can do is listen. You're really not Mary. I told you, I'm Marissa. Besides, didn't you say Mary died? She did, but I got a letter from her. She said she was here. You haven't seen her, have you? I would have noticed if I saw someone who looked like me, don't you think? Yeah? Tell you what, how about I help you look for her? I don't know. You just leave me here alone? I look like Mary, don't I? Well? The fog swirling around starts to become overwhelming, and the scene begins to fade. The fierce fury wells in your heart, and you wrench yourself forward to grab for your uncle. But the scene fades away, and you're standing in a strange room in the apartment. He was never really there. It was just a vision. But what was it a vision of? You ask Evelyn and Edith if they saw anything. You were just sort of staring off into space. I was worried. Great. You begin to search the room, starting with a book laying open on the table. Of the many strange rituals performed by the tribesmen dwelling in the Toluca Lake area is that of the passage into manhood. Similar to the vision quests of other tribes, the name of the ritual translates to the bearing of the soul. On the eve of the transition into adulthood, a young tribesman is stripped naked and given only a simple knife. Alone, they walk into the tribe's sacred land, a place along the lakeshore which remained uninhabited during the times of the natives, believed to be the dwelling place of spirits, and potentially the afterlife. Once there, the natives believed the tribesmen would be challenged by the spirits to prove the worth of their soul and their ability to function in adult society. Due to the nature of the mythology of the area around the lake, natives cautioned European settlers to stay away from what they considered the spirits' territory. However, the colonists were undeterred. Instead of heeding the warning, forced the natives out of the area in a series of violent skirmishes. Only a few years after the effort to colonize the area began, the initial wave of settlers were entirely wiped out by plague, believed to be an influenza epidemic. While little documentation of this period remains, the few extant records suggest a scene of mass death and hallucination due to the high fevers of those suffering the illness. There isn't any more that seems relevant. Okay, I think we got all we can from the book. Let's keep exploring the room some more. There's a large bookcase, a couple of paintings, a door to another room in the apartment. Also, more glaringly, Father Carmichael is nowhere to be seen. You ask the sister if she's sure the father was here. He was here before. I do not know where he has gone. Is he hiding? Well, if the father's hiding, you'll just have to find him. You and Evelyn start checking around the room again, and you straighten the large painting on the wall. It's a grim picture. It seems to be a figure being burned at the stake in front of a church while a crowd watches. The little plaque on the painting calls it Birth of a God. You ask Sister Edith if the church in the painting is related to her church, but apparently that's not the case. The other painting on the wall seems to be a symbol or a sigil of some kind. You give the painted sigil a good poke. Nothing happens. You're not quite sure what you expected. None of this matters anyway. Bad churches, Father Carmichael, who cares? All you need to do is check James's room number and get out of here. As if it could be that simple. Having looked at just about everything in that room, you poke your head into the other room of the apartment. You'd guess that it was a bedroom, except there's no bed, and also the room is full of fluttering red moths. And is that an iron lung? A few of the moths settle on top of the machine as you get closer. However, none of them seem to be doing anything harmful. What really startles you is when the baby monitor starts up in your pocket again, hissing and buzzing. Is that a voice underneath the static? I'm sorry I killed you. You peer into the window in concern, and sure enough, some poor wretch peers back at you. As you look, your head aches and your vision starts to fog up at the corners, as the baby monitor keeps hissing and buzzing. It's like a broken record, and you can hear something in the repetition now. Kill me. Kill me. Kill me. You go to move back, but before you can, you find your vision overcome by roiling fog. Two figures, one desperate, one weak and struggling, hurt, pain, fear, relief, sorrow. You feel like you almost recognize. You keep watching as the larger figure picks up the smaller, limp, and carries her out of the room. Did he just marry Uncle James? As the vision fades, you are left wondering, was that real? That can't be what happened. You take a deep breath and, shaking, open the iron lung. The body, whatever it was, is gone now. In its place is a scarlet hand. The baby monitor is quiet. You take the strange object and show it to Evelyn. It feels stiff and waxy. You're not sure whether it's made of flesh or something else. Think that's going to come in handy? You have a lot on your mind right now, but, well, his quip is pretty funny. Either way, you both know that given the way this place works, even something as weird as this might be the key to the way forward. There doesn't seem to be anything else of interest in the room. All the red moths have gone. You head out into the hall and towards the other staircase, or at least where you hope it will be. Should you check any of the other rooms, or just go straight for James's room? And we have come to the end of the Silent Hill Promise webcomic. The ending was released as a video game on itch.io. The link's in the description. I will be releasing a Let's Play of the ending shortly. It's been a pleasure being with all of you. This is Ben of Houston, signing off for now.